using yellow and black thread, but you can just use black. You don't have to use the two colors.
We tied first the beetle?
No, I'm going to tie the yellow jacket.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to start my thread about in the middle of the hook. And this is a Dairiki 280. Can you see that?
Yeah, great.
And I'm going to use that for both flies. You could use a Tiemco 100 also, but I didn't have any big enough. I didn't have any 10s. And I actually like this hook better. It's got a little curve to it, and it's a lot stronger. Those fish are pretty stout. So, yeah. So I'm going to wind it down and bend a little bit. And there's a little, the underbody is dubbing, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be any, this is possum, but it could be rabbit or it can be synthetic because it's basically covered up by the foam, but it helps keep the foam from kind of twisting on the hook. Okay, so the back half of this thing's made out of 2mm foam, and what you do, you kind of trim it on kind of a triangle that show up. You see that?
It's tapered a little bit.
Yeah, and you know the guide. There's no real dimensions I can give you. Basically, it's about the length of the shank and a little more than the gape of the hook. You just got to play with it. I don't know. I cut these like 7mm wide and 10 or 12 millimeters long. So you just have to fool it. I cut a bunch of them up. So I'm going to put the foam right where my thread's hanging. I'm going to take 2 wraps right at the very front and get it bound down. And I'm going to bring my thread underneath it, and I want to make like 4 segments here. So now I'll use 2 wraps on each segment.
It ends up curving the body a little bit.
Comes down, yeah, it kind of curves a little bit. And then I'm just going to whip finish this and cut my thread here.
I know when they're in the water and unhappy, they're curved.
Yeah,
Kind of curl out. I think they get that stinger ready for something.
yeah, and that the Tiemco 100 is a straight hook, and this is a better hook, and it's way stronger too. So, there we go. It's been sitting for a long time. So at this point, I'm gonna trim the back on a taper. Give a little more of a yellow jacket shape. This is kind of like a craft project, like your stuff.
Like the pumps
And
now.
at this point, it's a good time to take a marker and make some random marks on this thing, so it's not all yellow. You don't have to be too artistic about it. So now I'm going to tie my black thread. I'm going to put some wings on. The wings are made out of, yeah. These are the kind of necks we used to tie dry flies with. Ages ago. So I'm going to make the wings about the length of the body. I'm just going to tie them down right in front here.
That's because you didn't have
Oh, I
any
need
dinner.
that in a minute. I eat one right now, if I had it.
Yeah, it definitely looks good already.
Yeah, I think that's,
I de-stingerize them first though.
Okay, I'm gonna bring my thread up front, almost to the eye. So the thorax is foam and dubbing, and I'm gonna trim this to a little bit of a taper here. Tie it down. I think with foam too, if you don't compress it completely, you get more flotation out of it. So I kind of go back and forth.
Oh, you don't leave that segmented, or you do?
Yeah. I just don't want it to twist around. Actually, I didn't bring. I use a lot of super glue when I do stuff like that too. I didn't bring any with me. But. So you can use any dubbing. This is just anything black. This is some stuff from Blue Ribbon. It's black. It's got some kind of copper color in it too.
sparkle in there.
Yeah, a little more. It's kind of coarse too, so it gives a little more life to it. The shaggier the better. So I'm gonna leave my thread right in the middle, and I'm gonna throw these rubber legs in there now. This is small. I call these things centipede legs. It's small round rubber. I don't know how they get the lines in them, but better them than me. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna fold these over, cut them in half. And since fish eye, fish fork can't count, I'm gonna put 4 out here.
Did you put those black marks on there, or were they already?
No, I do some goofy things, but I don't have. That's a little too tedious for me. No, you buy them like that. A little trick though for doing that, if you want to do it, I saw Charlie Craven's. You actually take you can take regular rubber, and you can stick it in a vise or something. And you kind of
Just
twist it, and then you just take a marker and make one strip, and then you let it go, and it kind of gives you a pattern on it too. So if you don't want to, but you know this is pretty easy here. So I'm going to get 2 sets of legs in here. Kind of get them where I want them.
This is spiders, you got 8 legs.
Yeah, that's right.
Arachnid.
Arachnid, yeah. I say the fish eye, fish fork can't count, so that.
You just do that center of the dub part you put in there,
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to
redub.
put some more dubbing over the top of that. Yeah.
The legs just for more flotation, or?
More for life.
Vibration? Oh.
The actual the pattern that this guy did, he used deer hair, kind of short, and then he kind of spread it out on both sides of the thorax there
For legs.
for legs. But all you get is much crinkly little legs. So I don't know. The more movement, the better.
This thing makes you want to slap them when you see that thing.
Yeah, I mean, look at those. You know, I mean, they're on the water. Those things just move. So.
So you might want to give it a little twitch or two while you're
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Need like 3 hands to do this thing. You got a lot of stuff going on here at once. Okay. And just pull this thorax over. That's it. And then trim your legs however you want them. I like them, things a little long. I figure the longer the better. But kind of trim these back ones back to about the end of the abdomen here. Shorten these front ones a little bit. That's it. You can make them as short as you want. Like I say, I think, the more moving you get, the better. Those fish they aren't too concerned about how long the legs are.